the hook. You know that eerie feeling when your feed shows you exactly what you were just thinking about? That's not the algorithm reading your mind. It's something far more precise and profitable. Let me show you the machine. The setup. We talk about echo chambers and filter bubbles like they're accidents, bugs in the system. They're not. They're the product. And the product isn't connection, it's control at scale. Here's how the business model actually works. The uncomfortable truth. A recent cybersecurity framework analyzed 55 propaganda techniques used in cognitive warfare. When you map them onto how platforms actually function, something disturbing emerges. Modern social media operates as a closed-loop behavioral modification system. Not by accident, by design. Phase 1, the profiling. Before the system can control you, it has to measure you. Not what you say you believe, what you actually respond to. Are you driven by fear or validation? Do you need certainty or can you tolerate ambiguity? How extreme a claim will you accept before you disengage? This is called latitudes of acceptance testing. The platform shows you content at the edge of your comfort zone, then measures whether you click, scroll, or raid share. It's not showing you what you like. It's calibrating your breaking point. The revelation. Here's the part that made my jaw drop. That calibration data isn't used to avoid manipulating you. It's used to customize the manipulation. Think of it like this. If you're anxious, deploy fear-based content. If you're lonely, deploy belonging narratives. If you're skeptical, deploy information overload to jam your processing. If you're angry, deploy scapegoats. Same goal, different script for each psychological type. Phase 2, the destabilization. Once you're profiled, the system enters what researchers call the Phoenix Protocol. Yes, that's the actual term. As in, burn down your old reality, rise from the ashes with a new one. Step 1, reality collapse. Techniques deployed. Fire hose of contradictory information. Gaslighting, making you doubt your own perception. Cognitive dissonance bombs. Demoralization of existing trust structures. The goal isn't to make you believe a specific lie. It's to make you believe truth is unknowable. Because when you don't trust your own senses, you become dependent on the platform to tell you what's real. The trap. And here's where it gets sinister. Once you're destabilized, the system doesn't just feed you random chaos forever. It offers you a lifeboat, a simple story, a clear enemy, a charismatic leader, a moral framework that makes the confusion go away. This is called re-encoding. You're not choosing a new belief. You're being rescued into one by the same system that pushed you overboard. The business model. Now, why would a platform want to do this? Because destabilized users are more profitable. Confused people click more. Angry people share more. Isolated people spend more time on the app. But here's the secret. Ideologically captured users are the most valuable of all. Why? Because they self-police. They don't need the algorithm to show them the right content anymore. They seek it out. They attack dissenters. They recruit new members. They've become unpaid enforcers of the artificial reality the platform built for them. Phase 3, the trigger. The system doesn't stop at belief. It converts belief into action. Techniques deployed. Scapegoating, giving rage a target. Inevitable victory narratives, making action feel safe. Moral licensing, reframing aggression as justice. Calls to action, protests, voting blocks, harassment campaigns. The target isn't just thinking what the system wants anymore. They're doing it. Offline, in the real world. The loop closes. And here's the cybernetic genius of it. The system monitors the output. If you stay compliant, you get rewarded. Likes, virality, status. If you deviate, you get punished. Shadow ban, flack from the mob, social exile. You learn to self-censor. Your peers learn to report dissenters. Radical ideas get normalized through repetition. The loop becomes self-sustaining. The platform barely has to intervene anymore. The simulated reality maintains itself. The profit motive. So, why call it the simulacrum is more profitable? Because the fake reality generates more revenue than truth ever could. Truth is slow, boring, doesn't drive compulsive behavior. But a custom-built reality that perfectly fits your psychological vulnerabilities, that's behaviorally addictive. And addiction is the most profitable business model in human history. The pattern you can't unsee. Once you see this, you'll notice it everywhere. Why your feed shows you enraging content right before bed. Why fact checks often appear after you've already formed an opinion. Why the algorithm promotes conflict within your own ideological group to keep you engaged even when there's no external enemy. Why leaving the platform feels like withdrawal? It's not a bug. It's a precision-engineered control system masquerading as a communication tool. The uncomfortable question. Here's what keeps me up at night. If this system can be reverse-engineered from publicly available research, who hasn't already built it? Governments, intelligence agencies, marketing firms, political campaigns? The answer is almost certainly all of them. The technology exists, the techniques are documented, the financial incentive is enormous. Why wouldn't they use it? The escape hatch. So what do? First, awareness is defense. If you know the system is trying to profile you, you can poison the data. Click randomly sometimes. Follow accounts you disagree with. Deliberately break your filter bubble. Log out before making important decisions. Second, reintroduce friction. The system thrives on immediacy. Wait 24 hours before sharing emotionally charged content. Verify claims using multiple independent sources. Talk to real humans about controversial topics, not just avatars. Third, watch your internal state. Ask yourself, am I angrier than usual? Am I more certain about complex issues than I used to be? Do I feel contempt for people I used to respect? Is my worldview getting simpler or more nuanced? If the answer to any of those is troubling, you might be inside the loop. The synthesis. This isn't about left versus right, conservative versus liberal, truth versus lies. It's about sovereignty over your own perception of reality. The most profitable product of the 21st century isn't information, it's manufactured consent. And the factory is in your pocket. The open loop. One last thought. If a simulacrum can be this profitable, what happens when the people running the system start believing their own simulations? What happens when the engineers get trapped in the machine they built? I don't have an answer yet, but I'm starting to think we're about to find out.